Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Ashish Dilraj. I am from Department of Commerce, the Bhopal School of Social Sciences. Today I am going to take a session on unit or output costing. Dear friends, the definition for unit or output costing is on your screen. In simple way, we are going to calculate the cost per article or the cost per commodity or the cost per unit. It comes under single unit or output costing. The manufacturer or producer want to know the total cost of production, but a common man or a customer or consumer or a retailer is concerned about price per commodity or price per item. A customer is normally try to find out what is the cost per article or per commodity. When we want to purchase a pen, when we want to purchase a car, when we want to purchase a camera, when we want to purchase a laptop, we are going to find out the cost per commodity or cost per unit. That is why the manufacturers, producers, retailers try to find out what would be the cost per unit. Now, the next heading is objectives of unit or output costing. The objective number 1 is to know the total cost of production and per unit cost with a specific period. The second objective is to classify the cost under different categories. In our previous recording, we have discussed how we are going to classify the cost. We have to take different bases to classify the cost. So, when we are making cost sheet, at that time also we have to categorize the cost or we have to classify the cost. The third objective is to determine the effect of each element of cost on total cost. When we are calculating the total cost, we divide into different parts or different categories. For example, if we divide our process into 5 categories or into 5 points. So, part number 1, part number 2, part number 3, part number 4 and part number 5. We are going to add all the expenses to know the total cost. And for example, we incurred excess amount of expenditure in part number 1 and part number 2, automatically the total cost is going to be increased. Or if we are able to control the cost in part number 1 and part number 2, automatically the total cost of production is going to be decreased. So, with the help of this, the main objective is to know what is the effect of each cost on total cost. Next objective is to compare the cost between 2 or more time periods. Here we can compare the cost not only between 2 or more time periods, but we can compare the cost between 2 or more products, or we can compare the cost between 2 or more companies. Next is to determine the proposed setting price in order to earn a specific profit. Then the last objective is to determine the tender price. Tender price is also known as quotation price. So, when we are going to fill any quotation, when we are going to fill any tender price, first of all we have to calculate the total cost of product and then we add the percentage of profit to it to know the tender price or quotation price. Next is elements of cost under unit or output costing. We have 4 elements of cost under unit, single or output costing. Number 1 is material, number 2 is labor, number 3 is expenses and number 4 is overheads. To manufacture a small pen to a big helicopter, we required material. Without raw material, we are not able to produce any article or commodity. So, the entire amount of expenditure incurred on material is the first element of cost under single unit or output costing. Second is labor. This material cannot be converted into finished goods without applying labor on it. We required certain people who are going to convert raw material into final product. So, the entire amount of wages paid to the labor is the second element of cost under this hat, which we called it as labor cost. And the third one is expenses. All those expenses which are not the part of material and labor are the part of expenses. The fourth one is overheads. Overhead means the total of all indirect expenses. So, when we are going to do the total for all indirect expenses, it is termed as overhead. Now, the further bifurcation of overhead is we can divide overhead into factory overheads or administrative overheads or selling and distribution overheads. So, all those indirect expenses which are related to factory comes under factory overheads. All those expenses which are related to office and of indirect in nature are the part of administrative overhead, and all those indirect expenditure which is incurred on selling and distribution is a part of selling and distribution overheads. Methods of computation of unit cost. There are three main methods of computation of unit cost. Number one is cost sheet, number two is statement of cost, and number three is production account. When we are going to calculate cost per commodity, cost per item, cost per unit, cost per piece, it comes under cost sheet. When we are going to find out the total cost of production, that comes under statement of cost. When the manufacturer want to know what is the price per unit, he is going to make cost sheet. When the manufacturer want to know what is the total cost of production, he is going to prepare a statement of cost. For example, a manufacturer is manufacturing 1 lakh motorcycle. So when he is going to calculate the cost of production of 1 lakh motorcycle, he is going to make a statement of cost. But when he want to calculate the cost per motorcycle, he is going to make cost sheet. Production account is for bricks, coal and coke, pig iron, yarn and cloth, etc. Next is, what are the major difference between a cost sheet and statement of cost? So, the difference number one is, in cost sheet, per unit cost of each item of expenses is calculated, whereas it is not shown in statement of cost. Difference number two is, cost sheet can be prepared only when the total quantity of output is given. If there is no total quantity of output is given in the question, we have to make a statement of cost. That means it is not possible to make cost sheet in the absence of total output in quantity. The third major difference is, cost sheet is more helpful and informative when we are going to compare the cost between the two products or between the two time period or between the two different companies. The next is advantages of cost sheet. So, the advantage number one is determination of selling price. As we all know, cost price plus profit is equals to sales price, and first of all we have to calculate the cost. We can calculate the cost with the help of a cost sheet. In that particular cost, we are going to add the amount of profit to know the selling price. Every manufacturer or producer want to manufacture the product at minimum price, and how he is going to make the product at minimum price? By controlling the expenditure. With the help of cost sheet, all the manufacturers or producers are able to control the expenses. The third advantage is minimizing the expenses. Here we are not able to control the expenses, but also we are able to minimize the expenses. Ultimately, by minimizing the expenses, we are able to minimize the total cost of our product. The fourth advantage is comparison between the two time period, comparison between the two different products, comparison between the two different companies. Here I am taking only two, but we can add more number of companies, we can add more number of products, it can be more than two. The last and the most important advantage is for a common man or for a customer or consumer. With the help of cost sheet, the manufacturer or producer is able to manufacture the commodity in minimum cost. When they are going to produce it in a minimum cost, automatically it is very beneficial for a common person or a common man or a consumer to purchase the particular cost at minimum rate or minimum amount or minimum cost. Now, what are the different types of cost sheet? Here we have different types of cost sheet. Number one is simple cost sheet. Number two is cost sheet with profit. Number three is cost sheet with statement of profit. And number four is comparative cost sheet. Here is the format for simple cost sheet. As you can see on your screen, we have a column for particulars, then one column for total cost, and the last column is for cost per unit. Under particular, the first item is direct material, the second item is direct labor, and the third item is direct expenses. When we are going to add direct material, direct labor and direct expenses, we will get the amount for prime cost. After getting prime cost, we have to add all the expenses in the factory, which is termed as factory overheads or works on cost. Some people also called it as manufacturing overheads or manufacturing on cost, but the entire expenditure incurred in a factory is treated as factory on cost or factory expenses. When all these factory expenses are added to prime cost, we will get factory cost or works cost. I want to mention one thing, that there is a difference between works on cost and works cost. Works on cost means the entire expenditure incurred in factory, and when works on cost is added to prime cost, we will get works cost. So, works cost is the total of prime cost plus factory expenses. After getting works cost or factory cost or manufacturing cost, we are going to add the entire expenditure incurred in administration, which is also known as administrative expenditure or administration expenditure or office expenditure or office on cost or office overhead. When we add all these office expenditure to works cost, we will get office cost or cost of production. After getting cost of production, we are going to add selling and distribution expenses. When we add selling and distribution expenses to office cost, we will get the total cost. So, this is the format for calculation under simple cost sheet. Next format is for cost sheet with profit. Again, we have three main columns: particulars, one column for total cost, another column for cost per unit. Some of the time we have to calculate the raw material consumed. How we are going to calculate raw material consumed? By adding opening stock of raw material to purchases of raw material and by deducting the closing stock of raw material. So, the remaining amount is for raw material consumed. In this raw material consumed, we are going to add direct labor or direct wages, then we are going to add direct expenses to know the amount of prime cost. Again, in prime cost, we have to add opening stock of work in progress and we have to deduct closing stock of work in progress, and also we have to add the entire expenditure of factory. So, by doing all this calculation, we will get the factory cost or manufacturing cost or works cost. Now, what is work in progress? When the work is not yet completed, a portion of part is completed, a portion of part is still going on. So, that type of work we called it as work in progress. In factory cost or in works cost, we are going to add office expenses or administrative expenses or office on cost or administrative on cost to know the office cost or cost of production. After getting office cost, we are going to add opening stock of finished goods and we are going to deduct closing stock of finished goods to know the cost of goods sold. In cost of goods sold, we are going to add selling and distribution expenses to know the cost of sales. In cost of sales, we are going to add the amount of profit to know the selling price or to know the total sales. When this type of cost sheet is required? When the quantity of production differs from the quantity of sale. For example, we manufactured 10,000 number of units, but we sold out only 8,000 units. So, there is a closing stock of 2,000 units. So, when we have certain quantity as closing stock, we are going to prepare cost sheet with statement of profit. Under this, we are going to calculate the total cost of production in the similar manner. As you can see on your screen, we have particular, we have total cost, we have cost per unit columns. Under particular, we are going to add raw material consumed, direct labor, direct expenses to calculate the amount of prime cost. In prime cost, we add factory overheads or work overheads. For example, factory expenses, light, rent of factory, unproductive wages, etc. When we are going to add all such expenses for factory, we are going to calculate factory cost or work cost. In factory cost or work cost, we are going to add all the office expenses. For example, office salaries, office rent, depreciation on office building and equipment, journal expenses, etc. When we add this, we will get to know the total cost of production. Now, we are able to know the cost per unit with the help of this cost sheet. Now, the second statement we are going to prepare, that is for statement of profit. Under statement of profit, we are going to calculate the total cost of sales per unit. When we are able to find out the total cost of production for that specific number of units, we are able to know the actual cost incurred in making that particular number of units. In the same example, we are manufacturing 10,000 number of units, but we are selling only 8,000 number of units. So, here we are going to calculate the total cost of sales for 8,000 number of units and not for 10,000 number of units. So, we mention the total cost of sales for 8,000 number of units, then we add the entire selling and distribution expenses like selling expenses, bad debts, discount, advertisement, salesman commission, warehouse rent, etc. So, when we add all this, we will get to know cost of sales. Again, we are going to add percentage of profit in cost of sales to know the total amount of sales. So, when we talking about cost sheet with the statement of profit, we are going to prepare two different statements. One is for cost sheet, another is for statement of profit. The last one is comparative cost sheet. Here we are going to compare between two or more products, or between two or more time periods, or between two or more companies. Here is the format for comparative cost sheet. As you can see, the one time period or one product is on your left hand side, another time period and another product is on your right hand side. So, you can compare the two time period or the two product or the two companies or more than two time period, more than two products by making a comparative cost sheet. So, you can easily compare between the two product or two time period or two companies or more than two by making a comparative cost sheet. Here is the another way of presenting the cost sheet, or we can call it as comparative cost sheet. This is another way of presenting a comparative cost sheet. We have one column for particular and then we have four columns. First two column is for first product and next two column is for second product. So, by making a comparative cost sheet, you are able to compare between two or more companies. For example, if you want to compare the companies who are manufacturing laptops, you can compare it between HCL or Dell or Lenovo. If you want to compare in the case of mobile companies or mobile manufacturing company, you can compare it with Nokia, Samsung, Apple or any other Chinese companies like MI. If you are manufacturing any car or motorcycle, you can compare between two or more automobile companies. So, according to the need, according to the requirement, you can prepare any form of cost sheet. You can prepare a simple cost sheet, or you can prepare a cost sheet with profit, or you can prepare a cost sheet with statement of profit, or you can prepare it comparative cost sheet. So, dear friends, this is all for today's session. Thank you.